All right, well, if you're looking for something fun and maybe a little different than the typical dinner for two on Valentine's Day, how about a masquerade ball? Jason Foberg, the Director of Education at the Mattatuck Museum, is with us, and we are talking about the Nevermore Masquerade fundraiser. This is so exciting. It sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. It's an immersive storytelling event happening at the museum, and we're really excited to introduce people to the museum and introduce them to this cool new event that we have.
So we're talking costumes, we're talking masks, and even like a storyline, right? This is introducing people to, if they don't know already, if they're not familiar with Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, so the story of the night is that, or the really cool thing about this event is that unlike a lot of themed events that are happening right now where you have food and decorations, this is also inviting the audience into the story. So we have a story of Prince Prospero, who is hosting this masquerade ball for us, and he brings in Edgar Allan Poe, and to kind of go up against his AI poem creator. And so the evening has this kind of contest between Poe and this AI.
I love all the pictures of the costumes.
Yeah, so the costumes are going to be fantastic. We have different improv actors that are going to be throughout the space, the event space, interacting with the guests, talking to them, but also moving the story along through the 3 acts that are going to be happening.
So what can people expect once they get a ticket?
Yeah, so once you get a ticket, you'll get an email from the museum talking about costume expectations. Masks are going to be required, but we will have masks for those that don't have them, that we'll have them at the museum.
Emergency masks.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And they'll also, when they come to the museum, they'll go up into our Performing Arts Center, and it'll be themed to the evening, the masquerade ball.
Food and drink as well, right?
Themed food, themed
It is a 21
drinks.
plus event.
Yes, and we're going to have an hors d'oeuvre table, and we'll have some bites for purchase as well, and then we're going to have a cash bar for those themed drinks as well.
And it's also a fundraiser, right? Because all the money raised is going to go back to the community and the museum.
Yeah, so this is a fundraiser for the museum. It's going to help support our exhibitions, our education programs. The Mattatuck Museum's goal is to make museums accessible to everyone. Art museums are typically not as accessible to everyone, and this is one of the ways that we're going to try to make it accessible to all and kind of introduce a new audience to the museum too. If you've never been, but you want to come check it out on Saturday night.
I'm glad that you brought up that the Mattatuck Museum, it really is pushing to make the museum more accessible to everybody. So you have open days for families to come. You also have camps that, for parents, if you're looking for camps for your kids, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, we have youth and family programs happening all the time. Every month we have a kids art workshop, an intermediate kids art workshop, and then we have our family fun days. We have one on March 28th coming up, where we open the whole museum to families for scavenger hunts, touch and feel stations, 2 art activities. But this event that we're doing with Grimm Studios hopefully will introduce a new audience to us.
And then come back with the kids, yeah.
Exactly.
So where did the idea come from?
So Grimm Studios is actually a Hartford-based immersive storytelling company, and they approached the museum with this idea for a Valentine's Day fundraiser and this masquerade ball. And so when we're thinking about making museums more accessible, it's also making them more immersive. And so the immersive storytelling, the art museum, 2 great combinations.
Well, we were just chatting about the costumes and also chatting in here, talking about the Bridgertons, and the new season has dropped, so maybe that's going to inspire some people with their outfits.
Definitely.
I would love to see that. I don't know if you can get your hands on a dress. You could rent one.
Yeah, you can. I believe even the Warner Theater rents out costumes for people if you're looking for.
That is so fun. I would love to go to a masquerade ball.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Jason, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate you coming on and sharing this information with our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sounds like a fabulous night. Brendan, back to you.